Kumara Satsanga, Kumara Satsanga, Kawahrina, Kawahniriya, Kumara Satsanga, Kumara Satsanga.
This is the SANAT KUMARA. Welcome to the 63rd lecture of Namas University, Earth's spiritual digital university, the place and community that grows you into fully soul-guided and Shambhala-assisted human beings. In lessons 61 to 64, we talk about Earth's higher dimensional connections, how it all began, what purposes Lemuria and Atlantis served, how this period of Earth still affects all, and what our way forward looks like. Today, we talk about Atlantis and what caused its downfall. This lesson is provided through Martina and is spoken by Deborah Lee Flynn. Atlantis was supposed to be and started off a stronghold of cosmic knowledge. This knowledge was brought to Earth by off-Earth allies. Their knowledge was applied to earthly realities by the free will of the people. In Lemuria, the connection with the divine and receiving from the divine was paramount. The awareness of oneness prevailed. In Atlantis, creating with one's own free will in a human body was the skill to be mastered. Divine masculine abilities were thus to be used, trained, and hopefully mastered in proper cooperation with the divine feminine. That posed a high risk of going wrong, and it did. But this learning was in principle considered useful for Earth's evolutionary path to eventually become the spiritual university planet of our galaxy. Human creativity had to be given free range at some point, and that included the risk of doing so disconnected from one's divine feminine guiding connection to the divine. What went wrong in Atlantis was that the higher energies of Lemuria, the divine feminine, did not connect well and permanently enough with the divine masculine. Many Atlanteans, including leaders crucial for the direction of the continent, missed out on full and reliable soul connection, and without it, the connection to receiving from the divine source. On a technological level, huge advancements were made in Atlantis. Off-Earth beings brought technological knowledge that was accepted and applied. Over time, some leaders became increasingly arrogant. They created a leadership and priest system that detached itself more and more from the common people. They invented land ownership and money, instrumentalizing it for those in power. Men started to dominate and belittle women. They posed a threat as women find it easier to connect to the divine feminine. Male scientists started to experiment with all sorts of techniques. One of them was to control the weather, and this in ignorance of the role of the devas and spirits. Male leaders started to use words of power to control beings from other kingdoms, the stone people, tree people, animals, and the devas. The devas are the architects, builders, and dismantlers of all physical creation. Humans and devas are supposed to evolve together on their spiritual return journey to the divine, our common source. But part of Atlantis' human leaders thought they would be faster and do better without the devas. False. And that was one of the reasons Atlantis fell. At first, the devas were disregarded and disrespected, later even misused and enslaved, until they refused to sustain the structure of Atlantis. This decision also led to a split in the Deva kingdom and with the Elven kingdom. We have talked about that. Beverly June Alexander will write what it took to reintegrate and unite this kingdom in a novel series. The second reason why Atlantis deviated from its intended learning curve was the malevolent interference of off-Earth races. In Lemuria, higher dimensional off-Earth beings only formed physical bonds with Earth's females based on mutual agreement, based on love. In Atlantis, invaders forcefully took over the mind and body of incarnated humans. Their goal was to exploit Earth's resources for their own needs and wishes. This included harvesting on human DNA potential and genetic manipulation. It also included enslaving humans for the purpose of mining the Earth's mineral resources, mostly gold. I'm sure many of you read about the Anunnaki. There were others more. Digging deep into what exactly happened way back then does not lead to a solution to the challenges we face now. But the bigger picture I give you today should provide you with an understanding of what the wound of Atlantis is and why continents, countries, regions, cities, peoples, cultures, and individuals still suffer from it today. The third reason why Atlantis fell is related to the cosmic communication system. The cosmic communication system is, so to speak, the divine nervous system of our universe. It serves as its official message, communication, and transportation channel for all that is directly related to the actualization and implementation of the current divine plan. It provides up-to-date messages to individuals, can be used to travel in accordance with the divine plan throughout the cosmos, and is a channel for communication between groups of leaders representing Earth's population as a whole with other planets. With the cosmic communication system, our common divine source serves all its creation, from individuals to groups, from planets to solar systems, galaxies, and beyond. All this follows certain rules and protocols. At the time of Atlantis, Earth's human leaders started to neglect the maintenance of the various stations of the cosmic communication system. At some point, they intentionally cut Earth off from it. That was the final reason why we, at Earth's Spiritual Control Center, decided to take Atlantis down and sink it where it remains, deep in what you call the Atlantic Ocean today. In essence, I would like you to understand 5 different aspects of Atlantis today. Firstly, Atlantis was breathtakingly beautiful due to high technological advancement that was introduced by friendly off-Earth allies. Secondly, the higher and lower energies of the divine, feminine and masculine, did not connect well and permanently enough. That is why the use of free will went far beyond what was acceptable to achieve the ultimate purpose of the earth. Thirdly, interference from malevolent off-earth cultures exploited humans and Earth's resources. Fourthly, some of the human leaders decided to mistreat and enslave the devas. This led to the disconnect of humans from those who design, create, build, maintain, and demolish dense physical matter. Finally, Earth's human leaders disconnected intentionally from the cosmic communication system as they believed they could do well without it. I need you, dear students, to handle this information without judgment, blame, or negative emotions. What went wrong in Atlantis and created the downfall created more darkness. And this darkness lives on in the collective unconscious of humanity till today. These wounds from the time of Atlantis still make people judge others. They make people detach from each other. They make people feel superior to others. They fuel the concept of a pure race and that a country belongs to certain people with a certain culture only. They fuel the idea that certain countries may dominate others and take from them what they want according to their terms. They fuel the belief that Earth and natural resources only serve the purpose of man, and they can treat them as they deem fit for their own desires. The wound of Atlantis still makes billions of people feel guilty, ashamed, and not good or worthy enough. These behavior patterns, from leaders down to each individual, keep life on Earth in the grip of the darkness. For thousands of years, these Atlantean events have been stored in the collective unconscious of our beloved planet, and all who incarnate on Earth are acting out in their daily lives. The good news is that we are able to change that together and now. We are accelerating the integration of the dark into the light side in the second half of the frequency shift from the third to and through the fifth dimension now. The time has come to reawaken the qualities of light that were your own in the Lemurian and Atlantean times from the divine feminine and masculine. These abilities are already present but dormant inside of you. What is needed is your willingness to move out of firm convictions and behavior patterns of the old times of separation and domination. Ask your soul to take the lead now so that we can help you. Most of you will be called to service on a planetary mission that is beyond your current imagination. And when that happens, we in Shambhala hope you, the incarnated aspect of your soul, answers the call. Let me finish today's lesson 63 with just one example. When the decision was taken to establish Earth, the divine called for contributions. I told you in lesson 61 already. The people of Sadgatari, whose name and generosity has been forgotten, contributed the 12-strand sun diamond DNA to be used for the human body. When the Lemurians integrated into the Atlantean population, this 12-strand sun diamond DNA was intentionally hidden on my orders and replaced by the 2-strand DNA you are familiar with today. The double helix DNA you know got seriously manipulated and misused by off-Earth peoples since the time of Atlantis as well. But I say with great joy, on the 7th of January 2024, the 12-strand sun diamond DNA got reactivated in all human bodies. With most of you, it will take a year or a couple of years until all 12 strands will fully function again. It depends on how deeply you are still involved with dark energies. What the activation of the 12-strand sun diamond DNA means for you and all life on and in Earth, I will explain to you with my next publication. Lord Ganesha, a great Deva soul, will support me with illustrations, and we both work through Martina. You can expect this ebook around the time it's my turn again with the podcasts mid-June. Until next week's lesson, I ask you to let that information sink in. Please invite your family and friends to listen to my lessons 61 to 64. We are all in this together, and together we are able to change it. Let the human family of ambassadors of light grow. That's all I wanted to share with you today. My love and blessings to all. This was the SANAT KUMARA.
Kumara Satsanga, Kumara Satsanga, Kawahrina, Kawahniriya, Kumara Satsanga, Kumara Satsanga.